right, folks. Hello. Welcome back to the SF Comic Book Company. This is another special top 10 here. We got top 10 superhero movies, joined by a little cohort down there. Rick Grayson.
Rick
How you
Grayson.
doing today, Rick?
Huh? Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good.
Great, Rick.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So we're doing top 10 superhero movies today. So we have some criteria for this this episode. We usually have criteria. We don't like to do things normally, so we're just gonna go ahead and what's our criteria, Rick?
So it had to be a comic book. It had to be a movie had to be based on a particular comic book. It couldn't be like in reverse, like let's say something like Hancock, where maybe they made a book afterwards. Also, it had to be a superhero. So it's not just like a comic book movie.
So no Ghost
There are
Road, no Road for Perdition.
Yeah, no 30 Days of Night.
It has to be live action, so no Incredibles or no Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. So that's our criteria.
That's the criteria.
All right, so we've done a couple top 10s. We've done top 10 horror. We've done top 10 end of the world movies. So finally, we're getting around to the top 10 superhero movies. I'm sure some controversial picks right here. I'm pretty sure.
A lot of controversy, definitely. This is all personal, just remember. But we do welcome your top 10 in the comments. You know, we'd like to hear.
Give us your top 5. Give us, what's your opinions. I don't, these are our personal shit. This is not, this is our personal list. It doesn't, it doesn't have to be perfect. We like our list. So usually we flip coins, but I won the first 2 in a row, so I'm going to concede this one to Rick and let Rick go first.
All right.
So
I didn't feel like losing it again.
Yeah. So we got some honorable mentions. Go ahead, Rick. Why don't you run through your honorable mentions before?
All right. So
my meat of the matter.
All right. So my first honorable mention, just so I could get it out of the way, I've been pretty much fucked with about this movie for a long time because I do love this movie.
Crow City of Angels.
That's City of Angels. The original, the Alex Proyas, Brandon Lee.
What? It's not what? Crow is not in your top fucking everything?
No, because I've been watching a lot of these movies lately, and as much as I like it.
Oh, so this is already controversial already.
Yeah, no. It's like, so. I kind of tend to watch a movie now, even like back then. I'm like, can I still watch this movie and still like capture that magic that I see this movie with? So
it's the same way when I watch Beaches. Yeah,
I've loved The Crow, dude. It's probably one of my most watched movies of all time, and I mean I can quote that shit, left to right. And
you based your whole high school career on it, really?
I sure did. Half my fucking adult life is based on it. It's a good thing to base that on. But anyway, yeah, The Crow is definitely it's up there.
I'm shocked it's not in your top 10. This is the most shocking thing ever.
Yeah, this is controversy.
It's already. All right, what's next?
So another one is I know you're not gonna like this one. I don't think you like this movie, but oh yeah, you said no animated. There, that one goes. So that's out the way. But I will throw this one up there. It was gonna be TMNT, but it's the animated one. But where Leonardo and fucking Raphael go at it. But this is definitely an honorable mention. Judge Dredd with Carl Urban.
Yeah.
This feels just like the movie The Raid, but you get fucking Judge Dredd. You don't get all the bells and whistles of The Lawgiver, which I fucking dug from the Stallone version. But this movie it just turns Judge Dredd into like a fucking extreme badass. You don't have to take the helmet off because, I mean, the helmet and Dredd, that's the character, that's part of the charm. You almost never see him. I don't think you ever see him off of it.
Never without the helmet, yeah.
It was never without the helmet, right?
In the British comics. He never revealed his identity. Yeah, and then Stallone, of course, had to reveal his face because he's Stallone. He's
Stallone. Yeah, he's box office, so they're not going to cover it the whole time.
Yeah, Carl Urban don't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, fuck it, don't show my face. I'm fine. I'm fucking McCoy. I don't fucking need to show my face. So.
And which I think there's a Kickstarter to like try to get a second one made. if it's anything like this one, I hope it'd be fucking just as badass, because I could see fucking Urban taking over Dread, and this would have been this is a sick franchise that needs to be explored.
All right, so that's your honorable mentions.
Yeah. So yeah, I only have the Crow and Dread.
Okay, I have a few honorable. I have.
I mean, I have a lot more, but it's just no.
All right, I'll go.
We can go on forever.
I'll go. The first Spider-Man movie. I go back and forth from the Sam Raimi 1 or 2, but I really love the original. Go back and it's so cheesy. There's some like a lot of corny stuff, but I like a lot of the visuals. I like the origin story. I'm not a big fan of Kristen Dunst and Tobey Maguire as actors, but Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin is awesome, even though the fucking suit is horrible. I love this as a, it was a product of its time, but it's a fun movie. It has Macy Gray in it. You can't go wrong with that.
Can you imagine how different that movie probably would be if we actually had like good effects for Goblin?
Oh yeah, like if they went with the concept, the concept art.
The concept art was great.
That's amazing. Another movie, probably controversial pick for some people, but Batman versus Superman, the Snyder.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the Snyder cut. I will never watch the regular cut again because that movie's a fucking piece of trash. This actually a pretty decent movie. It's 3 hours long. It's an extra half hour, but the extra half hour makes the movie feel a lot shorter because it makes more sense. There's not like weird edits, and there's characters a little more fleshed out. So there's a little bit more super. People complain there wasn't enough super. There's more Superman. There's more Clark Kent and stuff. So this movie, it's worth checking out. I know a lot of people shit on this movie, but I asked them if they saw the director's cut, and they haven't seen the director's cut. If you get a chance, if you haven't seen this movie, watch the director's cut. I think it's great. I think Affleck's great as Batman. I think he's the best Batman in my opinion.
Best Batman.
And Henry Cavill is fucking awesome, and that'll come up later. And Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman's great. I don't like the way Doomsday looks, but I do like the fight at the end. Of course, the controversial Martha scene was stupid and ridiculous, but whatever. There's a lot of stupid, ridiculous things out there. So, what can you do? See, this is going to go in my top 10, but there's 3 movies that could go in my top 10 that are all number 10 that all kind of rotate, and they're set in this universe, the X-Men universe. So I'm giving Logan an honorable mention. It almost made the top 10 in place the other one, but I debated all day about which one of these movies I'm going to put in. So we'll find out in a couple minutes. But Logan, great movie. It's I think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman came into his own later in the X-Men franchise. He got better as long as the movies went along. But this is definitely a great movie. Great scenes with Patrick Stewart. Great. It turns into a horror movie at one point. It's a brutal fucking movie. It's a great Old West kind of feel to it. It's a great movie. Honorable mention. Should have made the top 10, but didn't.
That was actually about that list I told you I lost. That's actually, and I couldn't find it on my DVD list, so that's why it was left off of this one, this revamped. But Logan. Error. Yeah, Logan definitely would have been one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah. All right. So it's go time. Superhero movies, top 10. I'm sure no controversy would be had here. Rick, why don't you grace us with your top 10?
Okay, so are we going? We're going 10-9-8, right?
Oh yeah. Is that what our format is? 10-9-8.
Yeah, that we did 10-9-8. Then you go to 10-9-8. I'm just checking.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. You want to go back and forth?
Or are we going to go back and forth?
Go back and forth. We can go
back and forth. All right, back and forth works for me too. So.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10 for me, Hellboy 2. No, okay. You got Rob Perlman, and you got the Big Nola, Rob Perlman.
Yeah.
I love Hellboy 2, Golden Army. What I like about it, it's more of Del Toro's work. It's the monsters, the world that they create. They explore another world. It's not just the world of like monsters and everything. It's fairies. It's like Hellboy just like crosses over into a whole bunch of other shit. And visually, like anything Del Toro touches, it's just like it has his signature touch with visual effects and even like just like directing style, which is pretty dope. And the villain is I wouldn't say that this is like a guy who I fucking root to lose. He has a cause, Prince Nuada. He's pretty fucking awesome. I think I can't remember the guy who played him. Oh, Luke Goss. He was the guy who was in
Jr.?
Luke Gossett Jr. No, Luke Goss. I think he was also no Nomak from Blade 2, also a Del Toro movie, so he probably works with him a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
I like Hellboy 2 a lot. Yeah, I like it way better than the first one. I'm not a huge fan of the first one. Does it count as a superhero? Isn't he a paranormal investigator?
He's a hero. Super.
All right, we'll let you.
Super. If is Batman a superhero? Come on.
Sorry, controversy already. All right. So that was your number 10. My number 10.
My number 10.
All right, so I had to go with one of the X-Men movies for number 10. The X-Men movies have not been great, have not followed suit with a lot of the X-Men storylines, but I was thinking back to it, which one I enjoyed seeing in the theater and which one I enjoyed most. And so I'm going with X2, X-Men United, with the worst title for sure of any of them, but X2, X-Men United. Great movie, great opening scene with Nightcrawler, great interaction with a lot of the characters. I was gonna either go with Days of Future Past too, but that movie's a lot some messes in that one too. But if I was gonna go with the X-Men movie, I went with X2, X-Men United. Just for the Nightcrawler scene alone, man, this is probably one of my favorite opening scenes of a movie, in any movie really. That's a top 10 right there, best opening scenes right there. But yeah, X2. I had to pick an X-Men movie for number 10, so because X10, get it? So yeah, that's my number 10.
That's pretty clever, right? X2.
I just thought about
10. That was great. on the fly thinking.
On the fly thinking, yeah.
All right, so
number 9.
Number 9. I don't have it right here in front of me. Number 9 is Superman 2, the Donner cut. Yeah,
Donner cut. Okay.
Yeah, the Donner cut. I appreciate. Sometimes the director's cut doesn't work. And it's just like you just left confused, like what's all this extra added shit? Okay, so you guys really didn't add much to the story. Like Snyder cut of Batman vs Superman, it definitely adds a whole other depth to everything that's going on. It just makes some shit doesn't feel so, like you said, it doesn't feel so rushed, and it makes sense overall. And that's what you want to. Everything wants to make sense. So Superman 2, it felt like a lot more shit just made sense. And I mean, I think you had a couple more scenes with Zod, which fucking Terrence Stamp. I mean, he's fucking awesome. I love Michael Shannon, but I love Terrence Stamp too as Zod. They're both different versions of him. Like what I love about Terrence Stamp, he's a little bit more regal. You know, he's like, but almost like benevolent, but he's a fucking bastard.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The fight scene in that movie is amazing. It's still, you know, I don't know if it holds up, but it's still enjoyable watching it after all these years.
Yeah, but you still get that fucking feeling when you watch it. I mean, like, wow. I mean, yeah, it doesn't hold up, but there's magic, man. There's magic in Superman 2.
So Superman 2 is your number 9.
That's my number 9.
Cool. Superman the movie is my number 9. We don't see these lists beforehand, folks. So this is not it's not a trick to trick you guys. But yeah, Superman the movie. I was debating putting 2 on there. I rewatched this recently. It's a great movie, man. It's emotional, directed by Richard Donner. It's great scenes. Great Gene Hackman chewing up the scenery. Margot Kidder looking fucking hot. Great Christopher Reeves, man, just doing a great job in both roles of Superman and Clark Kent. Just the cast is great. I love the beginning, the way in Smallville, that stuff is great. Some of the effects don't really hold up, but it's such a fun movie. And the John Williams score is just amazing, man. The score when they go to Krypton for the first time is just some of my favorite music. I remember that. I think they used it for the trailer for like Superman Returns or something, but that music is amazing. I love that music. So I went with Superman the movie, classic, just one of the best original superhero movies. I think still holds up in a lot of respects. Superman the movie, Richard Donner.
Could you imagine if Donner was allowed to direct something? like a super, like, you know, any kind of comic book property right now. I don't know if he still directs it, anything at
No,
all.
he's like pushing 80 something, and yeah, I think he's coming back to direct Lethal Weapon, but yeah, I don't think.
Okay, like
Yeah, I don't think Marvel's knocking down his door to direct something or anything.
like if he was like interested, like him and Zemeckis, I kind of feel like I think like Zemeckis would be sick to like do a Flash movie, you know.
Yeah.
But some of these guys, yeah, hopeful, wishful thinking. All right, so
King of wishful thinking, yeah.
So number 8.
Number 8.
X2.
Spots away.
We don't look at these lists. Like, say for the same reasons. So one thing I love about
Is that the only X-Men movie on your list?
Yes.
No. Yeah, it's hard to put more than one on my list. There's so much. There's a good X-Men. There's a good X-Men movie if you like put them all together in one. There's like one good X-Men movie.
Like I wanted to put stuff like I was thinking like Days of Future Past, that was gonna go on there because. So, I think with X-Men movies, we want to see the visual interpretation of the power, like how it actually gets on the medium on the physical screen. And Nightcrawlers was actually like an interesting one. But the way they did it was like fucking genius. I mean, it was like perfect.
Oh, yeah, it's beautifully shot.
It's fucking everything. It's just it's choreographed with the music. Everything just fucking.
Music's really good.
It's sick.
The Magneto escape is great when he escapes prison with the metal.
With the iron, killing the guard. Yeah.
And like the ending's great with the the tease for the Phoenix, like setting up the third movie great and just shit the bed so horribly. But yeah, I remember leaving that movie with so much hope for like the X-Men franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I was fucking entertained. I mean, just even like the cameos for other characters, like even seeing like Stryker.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh, okay, all right, I see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, Colossus popped up. Yeah, great cameos, great. Like it just set up everything nicely, and then Last Stand happened and ruined fucking everything.
Yeah, so X2 is on the
number
list
8
right
for
there.
you.
That was my number 8.
All right, so number 8 for me is. Hey,
wow.
What's the matter with you? Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, the only good one. Great movie. I've known about Guardians of the Galaxy. I've known a lot about these characters, but I didn't read some of the new stuff. And so hearing about a Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I was like, do we need this? Do we care about this? Then the trailers popped up. I was like, oh, this looks like a fun movie. And, it's great. Just one of my favorite Marvel movies. Rewatchable, man. It's great. Great to go back and rewatch it, man. A great cast. Chris Pratt's awesome. Even Batista's great. Rocket. It's just a great cast of characters. The music is amazing. The soundtrack is just one of my favorite soundtracks of all time. Directed by James Gunn. Just great movie, man. Just great all around. I can't get mad at this movie. I really enjoy it. One of the best Marvel movies, man. Just a fun fucking movie.
It sure is. I love that one. So
second one, not so much.
Number 7. So number 7, Spider-Man: Homecoming. So when I heard that Michael Keaton was going to be involved in it, I was like fucking excited. I was super excited because I don't think they mentioned who it was going to be yet, but I was just like, oh yeah, he has to be Norman Osborn. I was hoping he'd be Norman Osborn. He's,
he would have been great as Norman.
He's maniacal enough. He's just got that kind of. He's fucking nuts. He's fucking nuts.
He has a Green Goblin would have been amazing.
But even seeing him as like Adrian Toomes and how they introduced the character, and like everything, it's like once again, I wasn't like. I kind of sympathized with the character. I like the villain. It's like, all right, that's kind of fucked up. Fucking Iron Man's a prick.
And all the good villains, you kind of understand their side.
Yeah,
villains never think they're the bad guys. So
in ways, I didn't think he was a bad guy. He was arms dealing, but he was still trying to provide for his family, and Iron Man fucked him over.
Yeah, another villain that Iron Man creates. People need to realize that Iron Man's the fucking biggest prick in the Marvel universe, man.
I trust me. I was going through this shit with a couple of friends. They were like, "Well, Iron Man. What if Iron Man fought Batman?" I was just like, you know what, dude? Well, what if Iron Man called? It's like, yeah, whatever.
No, I want to ask these people. like 15 years ago who their favorite superhero. No one said Iron Man. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but no one cared about Iron Man back in the day. Just they saw a movie. Now he's the best superhero ever.
It's like,
He's
do you
always been a
love
prick in
Tony
the
Stark or do you love Robert Downey Jr.?
Iron Man's always been a prick in the comic, man. The armor's always been cool, but the Tony Stark has always been a prick.
He's an idiot. Like, but that's why he doesn't. That's why when it comes down to it, I know and I love Cap for leading because he's actual leader. Like, Tony just fucks shit up. He doesn't make good decisions. He's not a good decision maker. No good decisions.
None of us really are.
Yeah. So I love the character. I love Tom Holland as fucking Spider-Man was fucking great. Ned was great. I fucking just loved it. Hands up and down. I mean, I fucking love Spider-Man as a character, and like as Marvel showed it to us, I fucking dug the shit out of it. I can rewatch that. Very high watchability.
I have more to say about that in a little bit. Let's see. So that was number 7.
That was 7.
Number 7 for me.
Wow.
The 89 Batman. This movie was pretty crucial in my growing up as to be like a huge comic book fan. This movie came out right when the time I like started reading comics and like started collecting comics and started to get into the hobby. And so this movie was very, very, very important. It may not hold up as a great movie over the years, but the music is amazing. Michael Keaton as Batman is great, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker is classic. It's still a fun movie, directed by Tim Burton. It's still fun to practice on every once in a while, and it's super cheesy, but it's such a great influence on my comicdom. So it's definitely one of the big comic book movies of my life. So I had to put Batman '89 on here. I just remember seeing the posters around town, just of that image, that Bat logo.
The logo.
Seeing that, just like, man, getting so geeked out, man. Like, oh man, this is happening, man. And the Batmobile is amazing. Just it's one of Tim Burton's best movies for sure. It's a weird movie for sure. It's a weird Batman movie, but it's a fun Batman movie. So yeah, number 7 on my list, Batman '89, classic.
All right, so my number 6.
Number 6.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
What's the matter with?
So yeah, it's that opening scene. I mean, up and down the Guardians. I didn't know if I was gonna care about these characters.
Yeah.
And after you it's the fucking feel good Marvel movie. Like, you will watch this movie and just fucking just laugh and smile and fucking just genuinely have a good time.
Give a fuck about a CGI raccoon, man. Like, that's how much this movie fucking does for you.
Yeah, you crack up. James Gunn is like probably so important to like Marvel's plans, and especially like with all the stupid bullshit that happened with his little Twitter and how he comes back and I think he is doing part 3, right? It hasn't started yet at all.
They're finishing Suicide Squad for DC, then he's jumping over to Guardians. Supposedly it's going to focus a little bit on Rocket's past, which is pretty. If you've read the comic, it's pretty fucking tragic.
It's a little brutal, right?
Pretty brutal, yeah. It's sad and brutal. So that's probably a good. And people love Rocket Raccoon, so he's definitely the breakout star of that franchise.
So many. Batista's great. Zoe
Saldana.
Yeah, Saldana. I was going to say Bashanow, but that was totally wrong. That would have been no points in the Schmoedown.
0 points.
But yeah, so yeah, up and down the line, just the cast is fucking amazing. The music, probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard.
Yeah.
For a movie.
Yeah. Great soundtrack.
I'm just hoping the third soundtrack is better than the second. The second was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was okay.
Yeah, that movie is just yeah.
Yeah.
Less said about that shit. All right, let's see. All right, so that was number 6 for you. All right, number 6 for me. Spider-Man: Homecoming.
We're just flip-flopping.
A little bit, just a couple spaces down. Yeah, great movie. Definitely my favorite Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. So this is the best. It got the humor of Spider-Man right. It got his look right. I love the costume. I love Aunt May. Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. She was great. I just love the visuals in it. The cast was great. Keaton has the Vulture is great. The action's great. The music's great in it. The way it's shot is great. Just a great movie, man. It's a great Spider-Man movie. Definitely one of my favorites. Um, Not a fan of like the MJ Zendaya thing. They just make her own character. You don't have to make her MJ. Like you just kind of like messing with the audience and stuff, but whatever. That bar aside, I think she's fine in this. I think I kind of like her better in the second movie. But this movie's great. Great Spider-Man film. They finally get Peter Parker right, man. I love Peter Parker, and they made him. He sounds like he's from Queens. Sounds like a kid. Yeah, it's the way I want to see Spider-Man with the humor and everything. A very good movie. I love that movie.
So I was just thinking about the other thing about that I love about this movie was you just not just get one character in like the Vulture. You get like a couple of other like minor characters in there.
Like Shocker and
you get Shocker with the Tinkerer.
Tinkerer, you get Donald Glover. Like, he's not the Prowler.
He's not, yeah, but you also get Gargan making an appearance. Right? It's Mac Gargan.
Yeah, Scorpion.
So it's like you already have like the whole beginnings of other characters. And I thought that was just like a cool little wrinkle that like they threw in there. So it wasn't just like one major villain, but they kind of gave a Shocker and they showed the power the right way. Like the way they use the technology. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, Rick, number 5.
All right. See, now I'm gonna start being like fucking nostalgia bitch. All right, so yeah, fucking
there you go.
Batman 89. This movie is high on my list because it's a dope movie. First of all, it doesn't matter if it's dated. Comic books get dated.
Yeah.
You could read something from the 60s and 70s. It's definitely different from what you're reading now. But how influential this particular movie was to comic books.
Oh, yeah.
It like spawned, like even like the animated series took the music, took the visual cues on what Gotham is supposed to look like. I can't say enough of this about fucking everything. Keaton, Nicholson, was it Basinger? Whatever. But even who is it? Michael Gough, the guy who played Alfred, just great Alfred.
Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent. Yeah.
I would have loved to see what Billy D. would have looked like as Two-Face, man. It would have been dope.
Yeah, this movie came out like the mid '80s. That was like big resurgence in a lot of comic book stuff. Like the comics were like taking a turn, like to like a darker, more adult theme. And then '89 Batman kind of brought into the mainstream. Just kind of got into the '90s, big boom of the '90s. So this is definitely like the big turning point for a lot of comics, man. A lot of comic shops opened up during this time over the success of Batman, because people started really getting into the comics during that time. So. It's a big influence on a lot of things, man.
Yes, definitely. Batman 89.
Yeah, he still can't turn his head though.
Huh?
He still can't turn his head though.
Yeah, he can't.
What a good fighting style, and you're like trying to fight a bunch of people and you can't fucking.
That's why he's Batman, dude.
Can't even look. All right, number 5. Yeah, number 5. The Thief. All right. The first Avengers, not to confuse with Captain America, the first Avenger, but the first Avengers movie directed by Joss Whedon. I was blown away when I saw this movie. It just the action, the dialogue, the last fight scene is just some of the best superhero action ever. I just love the interaction with these characters, how they first meet and how they kind of like build up to becoming a team. Just the humor is great in it. Hulk smashing is amazing. This is probably the best Hulk movie. It's just great seeing all these characters put together, and they actually pulled it off, which it could definitely been a fucking clusterfuck, but I think Joss Whedon knows how to handle an ensemble cast, and he did this pretty well. Just a great movie, great action, great character interactions. Barring Captain America's horrible costume, this is just a great movie, man. I love this movie. It still holds up for me. A lot of people have been kind of looked past this with all like the Infinity Wars and Endgames and all this, but this movie is the one that really set it off to the big event Marvel movie. So I love this movie a lot. The first Avengers movie, great movie.
I just realized that was on my fucking other list, man.
I
was
stole
like,
your list.
oh my god,
It's a good movie, man.
That's a great fucking movie. The music, the moments.
Yeah, just the little bits of humor, like when Hulk fucking punches Thor at the end of the fight, like just like little shit like that, man. It's just
the Loki and Hulk.
Yeah,
fucking, a lot of good stuff with Hulk in that movie.
Everybody has moments to shine in it. It's great. It's yeah, Nick Fury is great in it, and just even like Agent Coulson is great in it. Just all these little character beats are great, man.
All right, so number 4. All right,
Fantastic Four.
No.
2014.
The Josh Trank. The Josh Trank abortion.
So, don't you wish you could put a Fantastic Four movie in?
Yeah, I wish. But
the Deuce, Spider-Man Deuce.
Spider-Man 2 to me is like, this is Spider-Man would have made my list like 4 or 5 times in total. I think if I would have been allowed to put Into the Spider-Verse, it would have been definitely on there. Spider-Man is probably just like one of the quintessential like characters, and this one, although it's Tobey Maguire, and that's the rough part. MJ, he sounds just way too geek, like super geeky, and
yeah, Parker was never like a whiny ass dork.
Yeah, he wasn't like whiny dork.
He was a dork with confidence. He's like Tobey Maguire just MJ.
Yeah, he was like really just kind of like, oh, it's me, huh? Like not cool. But but when he was Spider-Man, he was a pretty fucking much of a badass, and like the fights with him and just every fight with him and Doc Ock, and Doc Ock's his emergence as Doc Ock in the surgery room. Yeah. Sam Raimi, that's probably like one of the scariest like just shots, like
straight up Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead meets Spider-Man, pretty much.
Yeah. They Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, and just
great casting. I didn't think when I heard the name, I didn't know if he was going to be able to do it.
I didn't like the trench coat with no shirt underneath it, but you still
pulled it off.
Yeah, like I like the business suit Doc Ock. You should have went with that one.
That would have been sick.
Like he looked cool. Suit. Like he looked cool when he was robbing the bank when he had like the little trench coat full. I don't see Doc Ock's chest now. That's not really
Listen to me.
Yeah, great action, great. That was between that one and the second. I go back and forth on those. I chose to go with the first one. I'm glad.
I love that flick, man. It was just it gives you like Spider-Man.
That flick was the bomb in films.
Yep. All right. So what? This year number 4.
All right, the best Superman movie. Man of Steel, Zack Snyder. Just a great. People like shit on Zack Snyder all the time. This movie, I watch this again. Every time I rewatch this movie, I fall in love with this movie. It gets higher and higher on my list. You might ask me again in a couple of years. This might be even higher. I love this movie. I love the visuals of this movie. I love the opening, fucking heavy metal, fucking Krypton scene. The music is amazing. Some of the best. Was it Hans Zimmer? Some of the best fucking music in a superhero movie ever. Every time I hear that music, I just got to stop and listen to it. It's just beautiful music. Henry Cavill has Clark Kent Superman is great. People, like bitching like, oh, it's not Superman. He's not a Boy Scout. He's not all happy-go-lucky. It's a different.
That's why I love it.
A different take on Superman. I'm not the hugest Superman fan, so I did appreciate. I can understand Superman purists being like, oh, that's not my Superman. But it's a new take on it. It's a different take. It's an alien invasion movie mixed in with a superhero. With badass action. The visuals are. I love the way it's shot. I love the ending battle where they just destroy shit. People, oh, they destroy buildings, and all. Like, yeah, that's what happens in comic books and superheroes. Like they destroy buildings. All these fights, there's casualties. It's high stakes. So I love this movie a lot. Every time I watch it, I fall in love with it even more. Man of Steel is just Michael Shannon's amazing in it. I'm not a big fan of Amy Adams. Has Lois Lane, but she's fine in it. Just everybody else in the cast, Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White's great. It was Diane Lane as
Ma Kent.
Yeah, Martha. She's great.
Costner is Pa Kent.
Costner is Pa Kent. One of the best scenes ever. You are my son. It's a great movie. I think well acted, well shot, and people shit on Zack Snyder, but this movie's amazing. I love this movie. If you've never seen this movie, give it a chance. I think it's a great movie. It's written by Chris Nolan, helped write it. Goyer, I think, finished off the screenplay, but it's a great movie, underrated. People, lump Zack Snyder films all together, but I think this is a masterpiece. I call this a masterpiece because it's a fucking great movie. One of my favorite movies, one of the best superhero movies ever. Man of Steel, number 4.
Okay. So now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. And
the nits and the grits.
People want to fucking hate on Snyder, right? So they could keep hating a fucking little bit more. Number 3, Man of Steel. You're right, dude. It's the music, acting, pacing. As much as I didn't like Amy Adams as Lois Lane, I wouldn't say it was just like her. It's not her acting that kind of gets me. It's just like it's hard to picture anything but Lois Lane is like a very dark-haired, like woman.
Yeah, she's been redhead in the comics.
It's just like lately this is the image that's been burned into your head. At least for like somebody who, especially like a casual fan who's like Superman. Like in the last 35 years, it's all been dark-haired Lois Lane.
Yeah, raven-haired kind of Lois Lane. That's my raven-haired with the bangs is my favorite Lois Lane. Like the cartoon.
Yeah, like the cartoon.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's what like people were expecting, but you got Amy Adams and she didn't want to like change her hair color, maybe.
Dana Delaney, man, voiced Lois Lane.
Dana Delaney would.
Yeah, she voiced a cartoon character.
But like everything up and down the line, fucking Diane Lane. Like Diane Lane, if she was younger, like she would have been like the perfect Lois Lane. Yeah. But she's a great Ma Kent, and just that movie's great, man. That flight scene with him still like learning how to fly, and then enjoying it just with the music, great.
Yeah, great. Just with Russell Crowe like talking about his power, doing the voiceover.
The voiceover.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's a great movie, man. It's a beautiful movie. I love that movie. Like I said, like in a couple of years, this might go up a couple more spots, man. The more I watch it, the more I fall in love with it. It's coming into like my favorite movies of all time too.
I think for me, it at least on this list, it'll probably peak maybe at 3.
Okay. All right.
So you're number 3.
My three.
You're number 3. You're trace. You're trois.
Avengers: Infinity War. This movie is where Thanos wins. It's a fucking Thanos movie disguised as Avengers movie. This is just a Thanos kicking ass, beating the shit out of everyone. I love this movie. I like this a lot more than Endgame. People love Endgame. I understand why, but this movie I had no problems with this movie. The length, whatever it was, this movie is great. The visuals are great. I love the interaction with the characters. I love, I just love everything about this movie is amazing. Thanos, like I said, Thanos wins. Like the villain usually, they usually the villain doesn't win, but the Thanos wins, man. It's a great movie, great characters, great interaction, great next step in the evolution of these characters. Finally seeing a lot of these characters interact for the first time, like seeing the Guardians interact with Thor and seeing all this, these characters you spent the past 10, 15 years with finally interacting. And this one seemed to feel like it had stakes. There was death and shit mattered in this movie. So I'm a big fan of this movie. I love the visuals. The fight scenes are great. The action's great. Just great music by Alan Silvestri. Just a great movie. One of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Infinity War. Great, awesome movie.
That's like the one that's like what 3 hours, right?
I think it's just under 3 hours. Yeah.
So the one thing I love about that movie is even as long as it is,
you don't feel it.
You don't feel it.
149 minutes.
Yeah, you do not feel to about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. You don't feel it. It goes by quick.
You
like
don't
Endgame,
feel
Endgame, you feel that.
Endgame lags in a couple of parts.
Yeah, you feel that 3 hours at certain points for sure.
Yeah, but dude, Infinity War. I'm thinking about it, how it just goes from something just keeps on happening, and it just keeps on snowballing until Thanos wins. Yeah, bad guy wins. Sorry guys, everybody was like, "Oh, what the fuck." Like, I was happy as shit. You have no idea. I just love seeing everybody like, but they didn't die, right? I'm just like, oh, they died. It's over. Bye.
Clearly, you've never read comics. yeah, the ending's great. Just everybody's fucking wiped out and just fucking. It's great. It's just great emotional ending. When Spider-Man fucking fades away and like he's like crying in Stark's arms. It's a beautiful movie, man. Definitely the Russo's best. Well, not their best, but one of my favorites for sure.
Okay.
All
So
right, two.
number 2.
Deuce. I'm pretty sure we might have the same top two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same
I'm
top
just,
2.
I'm not sure
I just want to know the order at this point.
pretty sure we
but-
have the same part two, top two.
So number 2, I didn't get like just the regular version of it. So this is like the
All right, so we can talk freely.
in between this one. Yeah. So this
We can
is
talk freely. Yeah, this is my number.
we're both referring to, of course, The Dark Knight.
I was talking about Dark Knight Rises.
Surely you must be kidding.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, dude. Yeah, right. Dark Knight. It's almost like a perfect movie.
Yeah. It's a great movie, man. Well, like Heath Ledger steals the fucking show, man. As fucking Joker, man. Just there's a reason it's so iconic. It's just not what I was expecting from Heath Ledger. When they cast Heath Ledger, I was like, who? Why? The 10 Things I Hate About You guy as Joker? Are you kidding me? It's like probably like
I heard Brokeback Joker. That's all I was
like,
hearing.
It just I didn't see it, but apparently Christopher Nolan saw it. So he that's one of the most iconic villain roles ever. And it's just great action scenes, man. Just the fucking chase with the fucking bat pod through the streets and fucking man, it's a beautiful movie, man.
So my whole thing right now because everybody loves the Joker and everybody's loving
Hey, man.
Joaquin
Love that
Phoenix.
Joker.
Love that Joker. Everybody loves Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Joaquin.
And although I do, there's always like a difference, but it feels like the Johnny Come Latelys that are living as prisoner of the moments with the Joker movie. They're like looking at Joaquin Phoenix and like, oh yeah, that's a much better. I was like, well, that's a different personality of the Joker. But if you're getting down to just like everything about the Joker, I was like, Heath Ledger knocks it out of the fucking park. He took the Joker, and I don't want to. There is nothing sympathetic about the fucking Joker. If you're looking at a movie and you're feeling sorry for the Joker, I'm sorry. The person who they just missed the point on what the Joker is.
The force of nature, man. You can't explain the Joker. You can't give him an origin. You can't like sympathize with the Joker, man. That's no.
It doesn't make sense to sympathize with the guy like the Joker.
No. Yeah, that's why I've been hesitant to watch.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's pretty much like you're watching Scorsese meets Falling Down with the Joker. So.
Yeah, from like the opening scene, the bank heist scene is amazing, just well shot, beautifully executed. Just the scene where he grabs the Chinese national, like and like the sky reverse sky jump or whatever the hell.
That was great.
Beautiful, like live action stunts they did. Like they did a lot of like real practical effects on this too. It's just a beautiful movie. The music's really good. It's. I don't think Bale is the best Batman. I'm not a big fan of his like voice and his like.
I just thought, okay, yeah, that's the one thing that I still have the issue with is the voice, right? Is that your thing?
It's a little much. It's a little.
I don't want to hear him like. Okay, in the first
Sounds like
movie,
Ken Kniff.
it's okay.
Sounds like Ken Kniff from Connecticut, man.
Yeah. It kind of does sound like him.
Hey, fuck boy.
Hey, Mr.
Eminem.
It's just, I thought that at the first movie in Batman Begins, it's okay. You were still learning to be Batman. People needed to be scared of you. But then afterwards, I was kind of hoping he would kind of go like Michael Keaton, just take it down a notch.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit too much. Like he was swallowing fucking.
I'm always talking like this.
It's a little much, man. I wasn't a big fan of the BMX bat suit either. Like his second suit in that movie.
The other one. How do you call it? The
Looks
cross.
he looks like Excite Bike dude. Like,
Excite Bike Batman.
I'm not a big fan of the bat suit, but
I like the bat. The one thing that I kind of liked about it was that it was practical, and now he can turn his head.
Well, it looked like he's not actually moving it, yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
I wish they like kind of smoothed it out a little bit. It just looked a little bit much.
That's why best bat suit.
It's the Affleck man, Batman
Affleck,
Superman.
it's the Affleck suit.
Yeah, it's the best one. It looks fucking badass.
So,
And
but
it looked like he can actually move in it too.
yeah,
Like, yeah, just a great movie, man. Just great.
the music
Is great.
music is great.
Yeah, great tones. You know, just great setup for the next movie, which they kind of botched a little bit. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think in retrospect they were gonna do something completely totally different, but I still think they could have done other things. They had other characters to choose. They didn't have to go with Bane. I mean, there was like a power vacuum in Gotham.
Especially with they were going with the gangster stuff.
Yeah, Cobblepot, dude. It would have been Cobblepot or Black Mask.
Fucking ventriloquist. I would have been fine with. I love ventriloquist.
Yeah, just imagine all of those three carving pieces of the city for themselves.
And I didn't like the fact that like the third movie, the way they set it up, like the first movie's the origin, like him like just starting, and the second movie's like kind of like fixing things. Like the third movie, I thought that he would have like a new Batmobile, badass Batcave, like all things would be set, and they like, oh no, he quit for 8 years. Like it didn't make any sense. Like
why the fuck would he quit?
Yeah, no, just like it's like the whole point of him is trying to get vengeance for his family, and then he falls in love with a girl, and then she dies, and that's it. He quits for 8 years.
He quits for the girl. Well, I mean, bullshit. It feels like the guys who wrote that part never read Batman.
Yeah. Didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Then a lot of people died and he kept on being the Bat.
And don't get me wrong, I like some of Dark Knight Rises. Like, there's like Bane has grown on me over the years. Like it's kind of an interesting thing to watch.
It's
a take on it. It's not Bane to me, but it's an interesting take on the character. And some of the action is fun, but yeah, some of the Batman beats I'm not a big fan of. And the biggest atrocity is the fucking James Blake fucking Robin bullshit.
Robin? Yeah, we're not going to. That's why
I verbally yelled out at the theater when they said, "Oh, you should go with your real name, Robin."
Bullshit.
Oh God, I hate that scene so much. Like, oh, don't fucking disgrace Robin like that. Fuck. Just call him Dick Grayson.
That is a disgrace.
They said, "Oh, my real name. No. Oh, Dick Grayson." I was like, all right, cool, that's all right. But not.
Oh yeah, that's his given name.
Yeah.
You know.
But they went, "Oh, his real name's Robin." Wink, wink.
Ha.
That's stupid.
Dumb. Fuck you, man.
Dumb. All right. Dark Knight, number 2. Let me guess. Number 1.
I think is it the same one that you have? You got the Steelbook?
Yeah, bro.
You got the Steelbook?
Yeah, bro. Steelbook, bro.
The Steelbook.
That's right.
With the Steelbook.
Steelbook.
Yeah. Steelbook. The Steelbook isn't the number 1 movie, but
yeah, Steelbook the movie. It's the fucking special edition of the Shaquille O'Neal movie.
Like, yeah, I think we're gonna go on about this one.
So, Captain America: Winter Soldier, number 1. Both mine.
Winter Soldier.
We've argued about this movie. Like, it's just a fun, complete movie.
It's perfect.
It's damn near perfect for sure.
Perfect. It's a comic book movie for like the particular character and everything. It's perfect.
The first action scene on the boat is amazing. Just like this is a transition for Captain America. He's been unfrozen for like a year or two. He's been training and like becoming a better soldier, and he's just a fucking badass in this movie, man. He's just going out beating the shit out of
beating everybody's ass.
Yeah, he has a great fight with John St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre.
Batroc. Just great fight with him. It just starts off great. This movie is just like an espionage, like throwback thriller kind of action, old school action movie. It had a great car chase with Nick Fury in it. It's just a great character beats, man. This movie is it's just amazing all around, man. It's just a great movie, man. Every time I watch it, I just have fun with it. I cannot like not love this movie.
Espionage, political thriller.
You got Robert Redford in there as a fucking bad guy, man.
He's the bad guy. Robert Redford's the bad guy? God. Has he ever played like any kind of a nefarious character?
Yeah, he's played a couple of bad guys in his time, yeah, for sure. But just like he hasn't done. When's the last time Robert Redford did anything of substance? So it's like cool to see like an actor of that caliber, of that legend, come in and do a fucking role.
A comic book movie.
Yeah.
Comic book movie. Yeah.
interactions with fucking Falcon in the beginning, like, you know, on your left, just
Yeah.
great,
And
great character beats, man.
introduced a lot of characters. You know, gave us Falcon. Even like minor characters like Batroc. They, you know, you got that guy.
I think this is the best Black Widow in any of the.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
Best use of Black Widow.
best use of her and best best hair for sure. This is where her hair is always all over the place in these movies. This is the best she's looked in her hair wise. But yeah, just the great interactions with them. Like it just feels like a throwback kind of movie, man. Just with all kinds of, you know, just old vibes, man. Like it's just
Like a Bond movie.
it feels like a Bond movie. It feels like a superhero movie. It feels like just so many things, man. And then you introduce Bucky Barnes returning as a Winter Soldier. It's just a brutal. Like people in the comics, we knew about what was going to happen and all that, but just seeing Bucky back and the way it affected Cap is just amazing. Great storytelling. Great, you know, just great interactions with them.
Like the scene where like it was where I think he comes after Cap and Black Widow. She's on like they're on a raised highway. They were just like in a car, and you could see like Cap like Bucky's coming after him, or Winter Soldier's coming after him. Just the music that they're playing there, like the Winter Soldier like music. If you guys haven't listened to it, I mean,
like
listen to it on
scream
Spotify.
thing, like, when he comes out. It's like
Yeah.
a fucking horror movie.
it's damn.
Just like that.
It's intense, isn't it?
It's
It's just like that. It was intense. Field Day was intense. So yeah, it's a really intense. It's intense music, and it's fucking it's dope. The music is great. Shot great. The Russos are. I can't believe where these guys have been hiding. I mean, doing TV. These guys should have probably been doing film for the last before Avenger or before wherever they were discovered, man. These guys should have
they
been
did a
doing
lot of
shit.
TV shows, man. I remember seeing their names on like Arrested Development, How I Met Your Mother, a lot of episodes of Community. Like some of the best episodes of Community are directed by them. They've had our hands on a lot of great shows over the years, so it's good. It's a good. It was good training for them. They got to kind of learn how to deal with ensembles. Like they do these ensemble movies great because they know how to interact.
They know how to handle characters.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with these Marvel movies, you're dealing with fucking 30, 40 characters, man. So this is more of an intimate movie. It's more of a smaller movie if you call a Marvel movie small. But it's just a great interactions with these characters, man. Great visuals, great tone, great music. Just one of the best. Like
Great acting, dude. Sebastian Stan was fucking dope. I mean, Sebastian Stan, I'm pretty sure they all benefited from like working with somebody like Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Because like they all like Chris Evans, dude, I'm gonna be sad to see him go because he's probably like the best part of the whole MCU is
my
fucking
favorite
it's
MCU
Captain America.
Yeah, he's my favorite MCU character, bar none.
Maybe that's why we're biased and we both pick Captain America, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
If people can notice, no other Captain America movie made it on here. Civil War was dope.
Civil War is good. But it's never.
It has its issues.
Like I had the first Captain America on my my honorable mention. I didn't pull it out, but the first Captain America movie is fucking amazing too. I think that's the best superhero trilogy out of all of them.
It's definitely the best superhero trilogy. I kind of think that Captain America might be the best origin story too that they told.
Yeah, it's
because they had to tackle telling it. It was a period piece. It's a time movie. It's a timepiece.
Yeah, and they did it well. I think they did it really well.
Good villain, you know. But I mean, Winter Soldier, better villain.
Yeah, great villain. Yeah, and you throw Robert Redford in there, and you throw like the fucking twist of Hydra,
Hydra and Shield,
yeah.
like.
Yeah, it's great. The scene with Armin Zola, they tease the robot comic book Armin Zola, which was amazing. That's a deep cut right there. So I just
Easter eggs.
Yeah, and they had the chick from American Werewolf in London played one of the senators. Like they had a great little cameos, great little side characters. Agent Carter or Agent was it Agent 21?
Is it Agent 21 or is it Agent 27 or
Agent 23 or something like that?
Agent 23, I think.
Yeah, Agent
23. No, that's X-23.
Whatever the agent.
Whatever, agent number.
You know, Sharon Carter's niece, whatever her name is. I thought she was great in it. She was cool role in it. Yeah, no, I just like the twists and turns, man. Just the great action, the great music, just it's just all around, just a great movie, man. Just one of my favorite superhero movies, man. Just every time I think about it, I go to this. Like that's the number one right there, man.
And I constantly keep going back to this movie like over and over again. I'm like, is there any, as the next movie comes out, is the next movie like, this is the movie I set everything against. Like,
Yeah.
How good are you? Like,
Yeah. You see the poster right there?
Joker did not compare to fucking this movie at all.
Right there, Winter Soldier, one of the best IMAX posters for sure.
Oh, that was a great IMAX poster.
Right, yeah, my favorite. That's was consistently staying up there. So yeah, Winter Soldier, man, great fucking movie, man. It's an awesome movie, best superhero movie, man. Yeah, come at me, bro.
Yeah, I want
Like,
to hear people's list, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Honda's list. With,
Oh, you guys forgot this.
Well, you know. So what didn't make your list, and for what reasons? Like, what I could tell you one, like Black Panther. I really wanted to put on my list, but just that last fight scene kind of ruins it for me. When it turns into the last scene from the first X-Men movie on top of the Statue of Liberty, was just CGI fest. Like, if they would have just stuck with a fucking balls out fight to the death, mano a mano fight, bloody ass fight at the end, I would this probably be up there on my top 10 for sure. But it's a great movie, well shot, well directed, but just that last CGI fight just kind of ruins it for me. So that's why I didn't make my top 10.
A couple of movies were going to make my list. I wasn't sure if it's because it was fun. It probably would have made my honorable mentions. I wasn't sure. I was on the fence, but Kingsman was on there.
It's not a superhero movie.
That's not a superhero movie, right? He's a hero, but he's not super.
Yeah, Wonder Woman almost made my list too. I really love that movie.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what killed me about that one. It comes down to almost, it's like, great movie, fucked up villain. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
Ares
you
is
when
not-
you gave me the villain.
I like Ares as a villain is fine, but the visuals of Ares was not great.
Well, that's what I mean. They fucked up with the villain.
Yeah, and that's what killed the last part of Black Panther. They went CGI instead of doing brutal stuff.
They
I
could've
was
been with that.
I was thinking about putting Watchmen on the list too. I was thinking
Watchmen easily could have made my. I was gonna put Deadpool, the first Deadpool.
Yeah, that movie doesn't hold up for me, man. More we watch,
it's just fun.
It's fun.
And that's what the character's supposed. Like, Deadpool's supposed to be fun, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like a product of the whole. It's like any comic book that you pick up. Like, there's a book that you may have liked, 15, 20 years ago, but you pick it up, you're like, this doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the fact that it was a damn good book. There's always a book that doesn't hold up. Like, I've read some books and I'm like, really? I was reading this? But at one point, it was a story,
It just affects you in different ways, man. I was talking to somebody about this, like something you read when you were a kid and you read as an adult. It's totally,
yeah, trust me.
Yeah. Life experience definitely teaches you a lot about life.
I look at Pitt, and when people are like, oh, what, Pitt sucks, I'm like, come at me, bro.
Well, it does, but
Yeah, I know it does. I know. I defended it still.
Oh, man. All right, that was pretty good, Rick. Was
yeah.
good.
Good list. I'm looking forward to more lists of all kinds, and everybody hit like and subscribe. Definitely comment in the section.
Tell us what lists you want us to do. Like, if you have any particular lists you want us to do that we get enough people asking for it, we'll actually do it.
Yeah,
I think we'll probably do these top 10s every 2 weeks. I guess, man. We'll try to do
every
them
2 weeks, every whatever. We'll
twice a
figure it
month.
out.
Top 10. We don't know. Release all the content, but we're gonna try to do more of that. Like I said, like and subscribe, and just tell us your top 10s. I want to know about your top 10s. See what's going down.
He wants you to hit like and subscribe. He's gonna bite me. Watch out.
He's over your shit, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Any last words, Rick?
No. Looking forward to doing a few more top 10s, but everybody, please, we drop these lists, and we definitely like to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Cool. All right, folks. Tune in. Watch out for more content, and we'll see you soon.